Get Over Yourself podcast. Busy time, so much to listen to, and sometimes all you have time for is a little blip. So here we go with the Blip Show. Hello, welcome to a Brad Blip. I want to talk about my morning routine as I stand here proudly with a big smile, relating to you how successful this has been and what a wonderful change it has been in my freewheeling, loosey-goosey, self-employed rebel tendency, according to Gretchen Rubin's categories of my life. So I'm not a guy who's tied down into distinct routines and habit patterns. It sort of doesn't align with my personality, and my work experience allows for plenty of freedom and creativity and all that great stuff. Yeah, I get to work at home, wearing shorts and a t-shirt, don't have to fight the morning commute. But guess what? You can sometimes get a little out of hand with lack of boundaries, lack of limits, an excessive amount of choices, right? So what I decided to do, this is now about 2.5 years ago, with my exercise and fitness habits, was to put together a distinct morning routine of flexibility, mobility drills that I would commit to doing every single day without fail. Had nothing to do with, let's say, my workout planning, where today was going to be a rest day and tomorrow was going to be a high intensity sprint workout and the next day was going to be something else. This was just a wake up and do it without thinking. So the important elements of this are that it's the same exact thing every day. Now, I might change it, take something out, throw in a new thing, but the routine is just that. It's an automatic behavior that I integrate every single day through repetition and endurance and frequency, and it becomes a habit. So you can look on YouTube, Brad Kern's morning flexibility, mobility routine. That video is a couple years old. I do most of that stuff as is, but I've made some modifications. One of them was I get out of bed and do it on the ground, because it's so much more difficult for the core on the ground. I didn't realize how easy it was to squish into a soft bed when you're doing leg raises and all those kind of things that are supposedly working the core. So sorry about that if you're watching the video. So I do the morning flexibility, mobility routine. And then as part of this morning sequence, I immediately descend the stairs, head out to the backyard, and jump into my chest freezer cold plunge for, I'm now up to around 6 minutes at a water temperature of 34 to 38 degrees. So listen to the full length podcast about my cold therapy regimen. It's in the archives, one of the early shows. I talk for an hour about all the scientific benefits, the hormonal benefits. But for me, just to have the discipline to report here that I do the same thing every single morning, no matter what, has carried over into all other aspects of my life. Not perfectly. I'm really hoping it'll carry over into greater discipline with my email inbox versus my peak cognitive tasks, like trying to finish a book, right? But in general, I feel like I'm building the focus and discipline at the start of the day when you need it most. So I'm in a proactive state. I'm locking my brain into a proactive state by doing proactive things first thing in the morning, rather than what do we often have a tendency to do? Reach for the phone first thing in the morning. So we're thrown into reactive mode. If I had the quote handy, I would tell you there's some research on this. And the doctor who did the study says, once you drift into reactive mode, it's difficult, if not impossible, to escape it and go back into that ideal peak performance productivity state of being proactive. So big plug for designing your own morning routine. Go look at YouTube for my videos of the morning flexibility mobility routine and also the morning chest freezer cold plunge. Thank you for listening to the Blip. Okay, if you're ready to change your life, please check out the Primal Blueprint Mastery courses, of which I am the host. The exercise was to bring our books to life with a comprehensive online multimedia educational experience. We have the Primal Blueprint 21-day transformation, so you can
Go Primal, ditch grains and sugars, learn what primal living is all about. We have the Keto Reset Mastery course. If you've built up some good momentum and now you're ready to try this keto thing and do it right once and for all and be guided step by step throughout the content in the entire book, The Keto Reset Diet, through video. If you're too lazy to read, just watch me talk you through the whole thing. We also have the Primal Endurance Mastery course, which is the world's most comprehensive library of interviews with experts, great athletes, and covering the entire content of the Primal Endurance book. An absolute must-have for an endurance athlete who's trying to do it right instead of get broken down and burnt out. And many other ones. We have a stand-up desk experience called Don't Just Sit There with Katie Bowman. We have a paleo cooking boot camp where you can cook for a couple hours on the weekend and have meals for your family all throughout the week. Great courses. Click the links at bradkearns.com and learn more.